Today, for the first time, we saw Savannah and her sister Annie outside their mom's home. And this is video from News Nation showing an emotional moment as the two, along with Savannah's brother-in-law, were seen carrying yellow flowers down Guthrie's driveway. They were walking arm in arm, taking a moment to look at the memorial that's just been growing near Guthrie's mailbox. People have been leaving letters, yellow flowers, and other items in honor of Nancy Guthrie with the hopes that she'd soon be found. And they too left their flowers before embracing each other. They did not talk.
What if the biggest clue in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie wasn't found by police, the FBI, or any investigator, but by the internet? Because tonight, something just happened that has completely changed the way people are looking at this case. For 30 days, the one man sitting at the center of the timeline, the man who was the last person known to see Nancy Guthrie alive, said absolutely nothing. No interview, no statement. No desperate plea to the person who may have taken her. 30 days of silence. And then suddenly, that silence broke. Tommaso Caione finally appeared. But what happened next is what has investigators, journalists, and thousands of online detectives asking a question that no one in this family seems ready to answer. Because instead of begging for Nancy to come home, instead of asking the public for help, Tommaso left behind a message. Just a few words. Words that, according to some observers, don't sound like someone searching for a missing woman. They sound like someone mourning one. And the moment those words appeared, the internet exploded with one chilling theory. Did the man who was the last person to see Nancy Guthrie alive just reveal that the family already knows something the public doesn't? Or is this simply the sound of a grieving family breaking under the weight of a nightmare? Tonight, we're breaking down the timeline, the silence, and the message that is now raising more questions than answers. Because in a case where almost everything is missing, sometimes the most dangerous evidence is just a few words. The moment that note appeared at the memorial, something changed in the atmosphere of the entire case. For weeks, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie had been treated like a race against time. Cameras were everywhere. Neighbors were interviewed. Volunteers searched the desert edges of Tucson. Flyers appeared on street poles, grocery store doors, and even the back windows of passing cars. An 84-year-old woman with a pacemaker doesn't simply vanish in the middle of the night, not without leaving something behind. And yet, that's exactly what happened. No signs of forced entry, no clear suspect, no ransom demand that investigators have confirmed publicly. Just a quiet house, an empty bed, and a timeline that keeps circling back to one uncomfortable detail. The last person known to see Nancy Guthrie alive. That man, according to the family's own timeline, was her son-in-law, Tommaso Caione. He reportedly drove her home earlier that evening. Around 9:48 p.m., according to statements repeated in early media reports. After that, the trail goes cold. Completely cold. Now, normally, in cases like this, the last person to see a missing victim becomes the loudest voice in the room. They hold press conferences. They beg the public for help. They appear on morning shows. They look directly into the camera and say the words every missing family hopes to hear. Please bring them home. But that didn't happen here. Instead, something far stranger unfolded. While Nancy's daughters began speaking publicly, appearing in emotional videos and urging anyone with information to come forward, Tommaso seemed to disappear into the background of the news. No interviews, no emotional appeals, no statements defending himself as speculation started spreading across social media like wildfire. And if you've ever spent even 5 minutes on the internet during a true crime mystery, you already know what happens when silence enters the room. People start filling it. Online forums began dissecting every second of the timeline. Amateur investigators zoomed into surveillance footage frame by frame. Comment sections turned into digital crime boards, complete with arrows, theories, and enough speculation to fuel a Netflix documentary. Some people defended Tommaso, saying grief looks different for everyone.
Hey there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation.
Not everyone wants to speak publicly while their family is living through a nightmare. Others weren't so convinced, because silence in a case this public doesn't stay neutral for long. It becomes a question. And the longer that silence stretched, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, the louder that question became. Why wasn't the man at the center of the timeline speaking? Meanwhile, Nancy's daughters continued appearing online, asking the public for help and repeating the same desperate message.
Someone knows something. Someone saw something.
Someone out there has the missing piece. A reward was announced. Prayer chains formed online. Communities across Arizona began following the news closely, hoping for the moment when investigators would finally announce a breakthrough. But the breakthrough never came. Days kept passing. And with each passing day, the timeline of Nancy's disappearance started to feel less like a puzzle and more like a locked door. Then came the memorial. Cameras from multiple outlets were already waiting outside the home as family members arrived quietly that morning. Yellow flowers were carried down the driveway. Neighbors watched from a distance. Reporters stood behind their microphones, hoping for a statement. Instead, what they captured was a moment that would immediately send the internet into detective mode. Tommaso was there, standing beside Nancy's daughters, walking arm in arm toward the growing memorial that had formed near the mailbox, a place where strangers had been leaving flowers, letters, candles, and handwritten prayers for weeks. For the first time since the night Nancy vanished, the man who had remained silent for nearly a month stepped into public view. And then he left something behind. A folded piece of white paper. At first, it didn't seem unusual. Memorial notes appear at scenes like this all the time. Messages of hope. Messages of prayer. Messages asking the public to keep searching. But when people finally read the words written on that paper, the reaction online was immediate. Because the message didn't sound like someone's still searching. It sounded like something else entirely. Something quieter. Something heavier. And according to many observers, something that raised a chilling possibility no one in the family had publicly acknowledged yet. The possibility that whoever wrote those words might already believe Nancy Guthrie is never coming home. And this is where the news takes a turn that even seasoned true crime followers didn't see coming. Because once people actually read the words on that folded piece of paper, the internet did what the internet always does. It started analyzing every single syllable. The message was addressed directly to Nancy Guthrie, not to the public, not to investigators, not even to the mysterious person who may have taken her.
Just to Nancy.
Mama, we miss you so much. Our hearts are broken. We are standing on ash on scorched earth, surrounded by darkness and uncertainty. Our love burns bright. On the surface, it sounded like grief, pure heartbreak. The kind of words a devastated family might leave at a memorial when they're running out of hope. But here's the part that made thousands of viewers suddenly lean closer to their screens. Those words didn't ask for help. They didn't demand Nancy be returned. They didn't say, bring her home. And for a case that investigators were still treating as an active missing person investigation, that silence inside the message felt strange. Within hours, online forums were exploding with screenshots of the note. People began comparing the language to every public message the family had shared before. And the difference was impossible to ignore. In earlier videos, Nancy's daughters had been pleading with the public and even addressing the possible kidnapper directly. They talked about miracles. They talked about hope. They talked about bringing their mother home alive. But the note sounded like something else. Something final. The phrases jumped out immediately. Ash.
I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then of worrying about her, fearing for her, aching for her, and most of all, just missing her, just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return, and we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. If this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery.
Scorched earth. Darkness. Those aren't the words of a search. Those are the words people use when the battle is already over. Suddenly, a chilling theory began spreading across social media. Was this message written by someone who already believed Nancy was gone? Or worse, by someone who already knew? And that's when attention shifted right back to the man who had just broken his 30-day silence. Tommaso Cioni. Because for weeks, he had said absolutely nothing while the case exploded across national news. Commentators questioned the timeline. Internet detectives dissected every detail. Yet the man at the center of it all remained completely silent. Until now. And instead of a press conference or a desperate plea for help, his first public contribution was a message that sounded eerily like a goodbye. Of course, there are innocent explanations. Grief can twist language in strange ways. Families facing unimaginable stress often write things that sound darker than they intend. But in the hyper-analyzed world of true crime mysteries, words matter. Every word. And once people began looking closer, another detail started circulating online that only made the entire situation feel even stranger. Just days before that memorial note appeared, one of Nancy's daughters had used a very different metaphor while speaking publicly about the search. She said the family was still blowing on the embers of hope. Embers. Hope that might still reignite. But 6 days later, the note used a different word entirely. Ash. And the internet noticed. Because embers can still burn. Ash cannot. And that single shift in language is where the mystery begins to feel even more unsettling. 6 days. That's all the time that passed between the moment the family publicly said they were blowing on the embers of hope and the moment that memorial note described standing on ash on scorched earth. 6 days. In most missing person investigations, 6 days is nothing. Investigators are still chasing leads. Search teams are still expanding the radius. Families are still clinging to the smallest possibility that the person they love could walk through the door at any moment. But in this case, something about the tone changed. And people noticed. Because hope doesn't normally vanish overnight. Not when an investigation is still active. Not when law enforcement is still asking the public for tips. Yet the message left at the memorial sounded like something written after the ending had already been accepted. That's the detail that sent online detectives straight back to the timeline. They started looking again at the one person who had remained silent longer than anyone else in the family, Tommaso Caione. For 30 days, the man who was reportedly the last person to see Nancy Guthrie alive had avoided cameras, avoided statements, and avoided the media storm swirling around the investigation. Then suddenly, he appeared at the memorial. He stood between family members. He placed flowers. And he helped leave a message that many readers felt sounded less like a search and more like a farewell. Now, to be fair, law enforcement has never publicly accused Tommaso of wrongdoing. Investigators have said there is no confirmed evidence linking him to Nancy's disappearance. There was even surveillance footage released showing a masked man near the property around the time Nancy vanished, a detail that shifted attention toward the possibility of an unknown intruder. So, officially, the case remains exactly what it has been from the beginning, a mystery. But mysteries thrive on unanswered questions, and this case is plenty. Why did the language in the family's message suddenly shift from hope to ash? What changed in those 6 days? Did investigators quietly share new information with the family that hasn't been made public yet? Or was the note simply the emotional breaking point of relatives who had spent a month living inside fear, uncertainty, and exhaustion? Even experts who study human behavior say grief can push people toward darker language when hope starts slipping away. But critics online argue something else entirely. They believe the note may reveal something deeper, a moment when the family's public optimism finally collided with a private reality. And that possibility has created a chilling debate across the internet. Because if the message truly reflects what the family believes happened to Nancy, then the case may already be moving from a search to something far more tragic. For now, investigators continue asking the public for information. Tips are still being reviewed, leads are still being checked, and the official position remains that the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is an active investigation. But the words left at that memorial continue to echo online. Ash, scorched earth, darkness. 3 words that may simply represent grief, or 3 words that some observers believe could reveal a quiet truth no one in the family has said out loud yet. And until the day Nancy Guthrie is found, those words will continue hanging over this case like a question that refuses to go away. What makes this news so unsettling isn't just the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. It's the silence, the words, and the questions that keep getting louder the more people look at this case. An 84-year-old woman vanishes in the middle of the night. No confirmed suspect, no proof of life, no clear explanation. And then, after 30 days of complete silence, the one man sitting at the center of the timeline, Tommaso Caione, finally appears in public. Not with an interview, not with a desperate plea for help, but with a note. A message that some people believe sounds like grief, and others believe sounds like something much darker. So now the internet is divided. Was that message simply written by a family that has spent a month living through every parent's worst nightmare? Or did those words reveal something the public hasn't been told yet? Because in cases like this, the smallest details can change everything. A single timeline, a single sentence, sometimes even a single word. Right now, investigators are still asking anyone with information to come forward. Someone out there may have seen something that night. Someone may recognize the masked figure seen near the property. Someone may hold the missing piece that finally explains what happened. And until that answer arrives, one question will continue haunting this news. Were those words written by a grieving family or by people who already know how this tragedy ends? Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think that message was simply heartbreak speaking? Or do you believe it raises questions investigators should be looking at more closely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the mysteries everyone else is afraid to talk about, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell. Because when the next clue in the Nancy Guthrie case appears, you're going to want to hear it first.